Cool. All right. Recording is on. You guys can hear me? Is everybody still here?
Yes.
All right. Sean, thank you for joining today, Sean, and leading it. And thanks everybody else for coming in to support and learn a little bit. That's kind of the goal of this format of this little community to get non-technical founders to embrace AI and build stuff without having to wait around on technical people to do the job. So um, I've first talked to Sean about a month ago,
Yeah.
and he had been working on the business for some time, and we're sort of stuck on an MVP. There were some letters of intent and pilots waiting for the MVP to be delivered, and we had a couple of conversations. Sean completely embraced the idea that it's actually possible giving AI a shot to see if it can be a decent co-founder. And apparently his son Giovanni jumped in and actually took the torch off of Sean and running on faster. So they're here, secured their pilot customer who maybe become an investor and join the team.
Yeah.
Excited to hear more about it. I don't even know more because I've been only getting text messages from the road. So the floor is here, Sean and JJ. Go for it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Evelyn. I really appreciate the opportunity. And I'm not really the star of this show. Gigi is. I'll give you all a little origin story, and then I'll let Gigi take it away. But we are the co-founders of Agent Care, and in 2023, my wife, Gigi's mom, who lives with multiple sclerosis, she suffered a pretty severe fall. And we knew that there were signals that were leading up to the fall that could, if captured, we could actually prevented that. And so we learned that, her neurologist, they don't see what's happening in between visits. If you have multiple sclerosis or several different neurological diseases, you don't see neurologist or your clinician for 6 months. Dementia could be up to a year. And what's happening is that's where those most important signals are taking place. But again, the neurologist just doesn't see them. And so we decided to build something that gave a neurologist that visibility into what's happening with their patients. And so everyone's like, well, are you going to use wearables? How are you going to catch the signals? And we're like, no, we know that with technology now, we could capture it from just small micro interactions with their mobile phone, whether it's a game that they're playing, whether it's a conversation, with the LLM. We knew that there was a way to do it. And so we set out to build this MVP. And so for an entire year, we worked with 2 separate developers. And the entire time we learned maybe about 4 months ago, we were building the wrong thing. And so the last developer never delivered. We paid, and they would come and give us something, and we'd be like, okay, maybe. And then fast forward, we got accepted into the Founders Institute. And during that time, we started to pivot from the multiple sclerosis patient being our customer to the actual clinician being the customer. And so we set out to now just, instead of building this signal capturing a platform that would in turn give longitudinal data to the clinician, we said, let's build a living care chart where a clinician could go in and see what's been happening. They get this summary weekly, but they can see what's been happening in between the visits with their patient. They get these daily alerts if there's something urgent, and it just gives them the ability to make more informed decisions. So again, fast forward, we meet Evelyn in Founders Institute, and he says, listen, I'm taking an interest to regular people and how people like ourselves, founders can use AI to build their own platform, because there's a significant a part of obviously artificial intelligence we use in the platform. And so I went back after that discussion, and because Evelyn had mentioned, man, you could build agents and micro agents to talk to agents, and I'm thinking, what? Like, how is this possible? So I go back and I tell Gigi, I said, man, I met this mentor, and he's saying that we can do this on our own. You know, there's tools out here, and Gigi goes, yeah, there's this, and he starts naming stuff, and I'm like, well, wait, this whole time, you know, because I've been in this mode of this. I guess you can say traditional founder. This is the way you go. You hire the developer. You do this, and you know, and so you know, Gigi says, "Man, I think I can build it." And I say, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, you know." And I'm going to let him tell you, you know, what he used. But literally within a week, he had built more. He was. We just needed an MVP. Gigi built like the caregivers platform, the clinicians platform, the patient platform. I'm like, let's slow down. We just need an MVP. But I'm saying all that to say he was literally able to build, and it's a working, functioning MVP. I'll wrap up because I'm long-winded, and I'll let Gigi do the demo. But we've been working with several neurologists from UCSF, Wake Forest University, and they've been giving us feedback on what we need to add to make this actually meaningful in the care practice. We met with one of the neurologists about a week ago, and Gigi demoed it, and she gave her feedback and has agreed to pilot it, and not just pilot it, but to actually phase into 10 clinics that she owns. So she actually emailed us this morning because we mentioned, teased a little bit and said, man, we'd love to have you on board as a co-founder. And she emailed us this morning like, hey, I'd really be interested in coming on board as a co-founder. So now it's like the trifecta. We're unstoppable now. But anyway, Gigi, I'm going to let you take it away and share what you built. And the floor is yours, man.
Did y'all want to see the? I assume y'all want to see like the actual product, right?
Yeah, I don't see the screen yet, but go ahead. I'll let you take it away.
Gigi, can you say a few words about your background? Are you a developer, or you're a professional coder, or a computer science student?
So my dad is a great talker, so I don't know if I'll be able to really meet him on that standard, but no, I did just graduate. Well, I didn't graduate yet. I finished walking the stage May 29th for senior year of high school, but I work at a pizza spot. No, I don't have any coding experience. I did robotics when I was in the 3rd grade. So I don't know if you count.
Did you say Facebook or a pizza spot?
A pizza spot.
It's not a big tech company? Okay, sorry.
I also work at TJ Maxx. So I have any experience when it comes to the technical or coding field at all. But what I do have more experience when it comes to my dad on is in social media. So that's what I was on more. And that's where I got introduced to Claude. And it was around the time where Claude Code kind of came out as well. And I am going to throw him under the bus, but I told Mr. Dorsey that we could build this on our own from the start. And he did not believe it because, like he said, he's stuck in his traditional ways. But time has really changed with autonomous agents, is what they call it. Ironically, that's the name of our app, is where we kind of got it from, because we thought that we could make this agentic, helper for my mom. And it kind of sprouted into new things. But I'm going to share my screen. Can you guys see do this one?
I'm not sure.
Not yet. It's the arrow in the middle of the bottom.
As you get that set up, I want to just say one last thing. I was telling Evelyn about my son, and I said, well, there's areas where I want to do this and add this. And Evelyn's like, listen, get out of his way. Let him do what he needs to do. And after that conversation, I said, Gigi, it's all yours. Just do it. Let's see what the neurologists say. If this is something they'll use, and he took it and ran with it. So go ahead, buddy. It's all yours.
I know my Google Meet's messing up a lot. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we see it.
All right. So this is a demo mode and I don't like to take credit for something I didn't do. So this was a lot of, Claude Code, but just with a lot of prompts. You'll know when you use, I don't want to get too much in depth on the product because I'm not telling you guys the product. When it comes to Claude Code, it's not, you treat it as if you would treat a developer, and you ask him what you would ask a developer. And just like I did with Claude Code, first thing I did was ask, because I had to figure out what our mission was. You basically tell Claude your mission, what you want to build, and ask him to tell you clarifying questions. And from there, really, it'll spiral off into basically what this is right here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I seen somebody raise their hand.
And
Sorry,
Natalia,
it was
did you raise
a
your hand?
mistake. Very interesting. I am watching you. Sorry, it was just a mistake.
Oh, no,
Thank
yes, ma'am. Yeah, sorry, no, you're good.
Natalia is Anna's co-founder, by the way. Just so you guys know.
Say it again. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Natalia is Anna's co-founder.
Oh, nice word.
Okay.
Nice word. And
Nice
Gigi
to
is
meet
our
you. Nice-
co-founder.
To the co-founder duo, I guess. But I don't really know what you guys did. You guys want to see Claude code? I would love to ask you guys what you guys wanted to see, because really I'm not too sure what the basis of this was.
Well, Gigi, give them a walkthrough of it, because like I think Anna was saying, she wants to see something that actually works. So why don't you do a run through of onboarding a patient? What does a patient see? Or, you know, how does the patient capture, how do we capture those signals? And then how are those what does those signals actually translate to, and what they look like in the living care chart?
Exactly.
So-
Yeah. And for context, say a little bit about how you used to write down on paper and ask your mom for how she feels, and that was irritating her, obviously. So talk a little bit about the difference.
Yeah, it wasn't really necessarily on paper. We used Google Sheets. We have what we call a manual living care chart that we had living in our Google Sheets, and we would ask her, or me and my sister. My sister is in college in, is it Baltimore? Yeah, Baltimore. So she's all the way across the state. So she would either call, or I would do the in-person meeting, and we would ask her, how do you feel? What do you have any pain, any medication you're supposed to be taking? And over time, she would get agitated, because no one wants to be asked and battered with like the same thing over and over again. Like, it becomes to get monotonous. You don't want to do that no more. And so this is like the same time we were building Agent. And so that's what we kind of built it around. This app is catered around what we know MS patients would not want to do and what they want. And right here, we know my mom be playing games. I don't know if y'all know Candy Crush. They love to play games. They love that's something they just do. So what we did was turn the games into a capturing device of that data. So there's a lot of things with doctors that they use, like I believe it's called a PSQ9 or something along the lines, or MST-T. These things track things like mood, like the cognitive decline, memory. And as you can see down here, working memory, motor coordination, processing speed. And so with each game, it's actually capturing data as you play and how well you do. And we got feedback from a neurologist. This is actually this app is an old design. We have a new one that we're using that has updated games and features. But it's really just like how well you do will turn into the data for a doctor. And I'm just playing it a little bit. Really, the goal is how fast you do it, how well. Let me move the screen out the way. And it's like the data how well you just did, how you clicked it is going to go into a living care chart. So you can see how well you did. This is just a patient's view. A neurologist will see something completely different that a neurologist will understand. Like the motor coordination was down, this something along the line. I don't know the jargon of a doctor, but you know, you get it. It turns into actual data that they could understand. And that's basically
Gigi, can I
Yes.
ask, does it mean that you have sort of connected the Candy Crush or some kind of game into the chatbot, and it reads the movements, it sort of reads the course of the game, yes? And then you have talked to it through the specific signs to look out for, yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, exactly. But not necessarily the exact Candy Crush. It's not going to be Candy Crush because we don't have license for Candy Crush or like a partnership, but it's games coordinated to, one, tracking important information, and two, what they're already doing and what they already enjoy. And
I think Anna is trying to figure out if you actually build those games.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
let me tell you. No.
Claude
Yeah,
built
that's the basis. This is all Claude. And what I would prefer you
Under
do,
your direction.
yeah, like when you're first starting out with Claude, you have to build out what your mission statement is going to be. What do you want to build and why you're building it? Because Claude needs to know this. And the best thing you can also do is always tell Claude to ask you clarifying questions and to always use plan mode. Those are the two things I would really recommend for when you're first starting. Because when we first started off, we didn't even use plan mode. We actually didn't even know it was a thing. But plan mode is probably the greatest thing you can do because it goes so in depth and really intricate on what you want your product to be. So it usually tends to spit out something more efficient. If that answers the question. Yeah.
Talk to him about the skills. Remember, you were doing something with teaching it skills or something like that.
So a lot of skills that let me see. I'm gonna show you guys. It's better to just show you guys. If you want to talk that while I get that up, because
I wanted to back up a little bit while he says that. When he was talking about we were capturing data, we set up what's called a concierge MVP. We called it Wizard of Oz, where we acted as agent to collect data. And the reason we did that is because we wanted to know what to automate. You know, what do we actually automate in terms of what we're doing manually? And so when we started those trials, again, the neurologist was helping us. And so what we have right now that Gigi's built, we're capturing 3 particular signals: mood, fatigue, and cognitive load. Now there's more, but based on the neurologist and just the MVP, these are just the 3 that we're talking about. And when he mentioned the PHQ-9, that's a tool that neurologists use to measure this depression level. So they told us tools that they use for patients. Gigi was able to tell Claude, I need you to integrate these tools, but we want you to, because it's questionnaires, but we want you to inadvertently ask these almost passively, so they don't know that they're asking questions of a PHQ-9. And so Claude did it. And one more thing, Gigi, I'm sorry, and I'll let you finish.
Yeah, I'm still getting it.
Claude, what's amazing about Claude is once it learns what you're building, and like he said, it's like a digital developer, it starts to make suggestions. And so some of those suggestions were absolutely amazing, and it just kind of helped us with the flow. But I mean, I think Gigi said what we were paying a couple $1,000s for these developers monthly to build. I think Gigi, we're paying maybe for everything, it came up to like $50, and we had to get a couple subscriptions for a few things, but that was it.
Yeah, we still haven't really even calculated all we have to pay yet because we're not really done. But.
So Giovanni, I think I have a question that I think is related to what you're pulling up between the skills, the
yes, sir.
Plan and build. So I think right now I have 2 agents, one for brainstorming and one's the main agent.
Exactly. That's a good one.
I'm still not fully understanding. I'm getting there, but I'm still not fully understanding. So, you know, I tell the brainstorming agent everything and talk about ideas. And then I do like, you know, I ask it to export proper information because I'm ready to come up with a plan and then follow through on a build. What are you worried about anything being lost? Like, because the agents don't talk to themselves. So
what do you mean lost? Like what being lost?
Just like details of features, you know.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. So what you could do is go ahead.
I'll just get the rest of my question out. I'm interested to learn about what you put into the plan. And then, you know, once you're satisfied with the plan and answer all the questions, I assume then you say, okay, please go ahead and build it.
Yeah. So you said I'm sorry, because the question was, how do you make sure you don't lose information on like the skill, what the skill does, or
not a direct question, just if you could talk more about you know, that process. So you have the idea, and there's skills, and there's the different agents. So like, what is your procedure for trying to do a brain dump with all the details that you want the app to do, all the inputs? You know, these are the types of questions that the patients get asked. So, you know, you just need to be made aware of this. I'm not sure where these questions go quite yet in the whole grand scheme of things, but
right. Give you a little more context that you probably can use. I think Pat is now on OpenClaw as a harness, correct?
Correct. So I like how you said that. So I'm going to probably throw another one. You just use another skill. There's so many skills that you could use to capture the data that you're using, so you can go back to. Another thing that Claude does, or you could ask it to do, is it creates you a markdown file. Like it's called a Claude MD. And it can create it. What it does is when you finish your code, you can say, hey, Claude, can you put all this into a markdown folder so you could look back to and we can understand it? Or you can even ask him, hey, Claude, can you create everything you've done? Or you could basically just ask him, hey, I'm a little lost. Could you help me organize this data a little bit? Like I know there's a skill that you could use with Obsidian, which I also have. And it kind of creates this brain of what you've done. Like my dad said, a repository of information of what you've done so far. So it definitely helps with getting lost, if that answered your question.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you guys, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah.
And so let me go to Claude Code. Claude Code, I don't even know when it came out, but since it came out, it's been great because you can do so much with Claude Code. So right here, you can see you could add your file to, once you get, I don't know if you guys are on a MacBook or a Windows, but you can practically give control of your computer. I know it sounds scary, but you can give Claude access to your file explorer. And what they can do is they can create, that's basically where they create everything. And you can go back to it on your file explorer and it'll show you your skills, your agents, everything should be living in your file explorer, if that answers anything. But really with the skills, I'm going to see if I can get to it. You can add it, if I can find it. I'm trying to give a blank one. It's harder to really, because on mine, you can ask him, hey, can you pull up all my skills? Yeah, see, it's not
Pat,
here.
Your agents are on OpenClaw, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pat? Yes?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So, no, I'm just confirming with Pat that he's
Yes,
using
yes, they are.
OpenClaw as a harness and you're using Claude Code. They're slightly different harnesses, not too different. So most of what Gigi says about Claude Code will apply to OpenClaw.
Understood.
Yeah, see, I'm not too familiar with OpenClaw. That one I've never really delved into. I heard a lot about it, but I'm not too familiar with it. So for some reason it's not showing up. But honestly, what I started with first with Claude is I opened it on my terminal, and that's kind of easier too. I don't know. You guys have MacBooks or are you guys on Windows?
I'm on Windows for better or worse.
See, and that's why I kind of fall short because I'm not too familiar on how Windows works yet because I'm on a MacBook. This is a really old MacBook Air, but I know if you have a MacBook, your terminal is really what's going to work best for you as well because you can open Claude Code directly from your terminal. And there you can kind of use commands like /skills where you can see all the skills. Or you can say, hey, Claude, can you create me a skill that does this, that, and the third? And that's a little bit with that brainstorming one. I don't know if you guys are on social media a lot, but a lot of the help can come from TikTok and because they create skills on there and tell you, hey, where to go to access it. And are you guys familiar with GitHub? Yeah, that's really where you access your skills to. Like some really powerful ones. I know you said brainstorming. There's one that's called Superpower. There's one that's called UI UX that focuses really on your front end and make sure it's not like the everyday AI front end. There's so many skills that you guys can find really on like TikTok and YouTube that you could really find. And that's what I really recommend you guys doing the most. So like I said, I don't really know the trajectory of this call. So I don't know if I should just take questions or because the best I can do is just answer any questions you guys had.
Let's do that. Let's take a few more questions. I really appreciate what you've done and you've shown, Gigi. Clearly,
I don't know what to show, so I do apologize, you guys.
No. I mean, so everybody knows from the call that all my career has been computer science, coding, etc. So it is very obvious that what I teased you in the beginning, you have no coding background.
Right.
But it's also very amazing that you've been able to outrun your dad's in his expectation. So keep doing your job, Dad. Keep staying out of the way. Anybody have any questions for Gigi before we wrap up?
Hi guys, first of all, congratulations on what you have done, really amazing. We are also on our path. We are not technical founders, and with the help of Evelyn, we are discovering agents, chatbots, and so on and so forth. Claude, it's something that I have not tried yet. What I wanted to ask you, how did you proceed? Which were your steps? First, you did back end and then front end, or what was the best strategy for you, like to arrive to the ready product? And how much did it take to you to have the ready product? And also, maybe why did you choose Claude Code and not another tool? Did you hear good feedback about that, or why was this choice or not another one?
Right.
I'm the one who is experiencing now with OpenClaw, actually.
Ma'am, was it Natalia, correct?
Yes, I'm Natalia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, ma'am. So really what I recommend is playing around with it, because there's no harm, no foul in it. And that's really what taught me the majority of it was error. And it wasn't necessarily error. It was more so just playground, learning what Claude is, learning what it can do, and expounding on. The more you use it, the more you will learn Claude. And you can also ask Claude where you get lost. I don't know if I said that already. You could ask him questions. But to answer your question, where I first started, I didn't know that you could download Claude as an application yet. So I started first on my terminal. And are you on a MacBook or are you on a Windows?
I have Mac.
You have Mac, so that's beautiful. So I'm pretty sure on your terminal, you can download Claude by doing -Claude, and then it will run you through the steps from there. And then basically from there, right then, you're going to get on the chat box. Right there, you can just ask him questions. Hey, Claude, I want to start a business. Can you help me with steps? I'm going to be using Claude Code. What do I need to do? What do I need to know? And it can teach you from there. That's not something I did. When I started, I told my dad, hey, what is the purpose of our business? What business are we creating? What do we need? And then I told chat, hey, I need a prompt. I'm going to put in the Claude Code to build this app for this mission statement. And it made me a prompt to put into Claude Code, which inevitably I use in it. And then now we're here. So it's really all about just the more you use it, the more you will inevitably get familiar with it, because it's not hard. As you know, like I said, I'm a pizza maker, and it's really easy to understand. They make it really simplistic as well. And for even the coding jargon that you get, you can even ask him, because it is good to understand what you're doing. Because if you're going to be using a business like we're doing with healthcare, we should understand sensitive data like HIPAA and just patient information. So you want to know some of the code terminology. And you can ask Claude, hey, what does this mean? And it will teach you and break it down for you just as well. So that's what I would recommend. Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Thank you. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you say that spending more time or investing your time in learning how to work with AI pays off and it gets easier and you can do more over time? Or does it feel like the more traditional tech stack paradox that the more you learn, the more complexity comes at you and you got to learn more and more and more, and it's even harder to keep up?
Nah, man. AI is really, it's because I'm younger and I grew up with this generation revolved around AI. But I think AI can really, if we use it correctly, it can really make especially business owners' lives way more simplistic. I even, for the fun of it, created a fact checker app in like one day. You know, it's just really all about, I mean, what it's all about, what comes down to is the prompt, really, what you're asking it and how you're asking it. Don't ask Claude pointless things like a one sentence. Like, don't use Claude like he's like a slow baby. Talk to Claude like he is a real developer, like he's a person sitting next to you. Like, hey, Claude, I really like, just like you would talk to a developer you're paying $2,000 for. Talk to Claude, because it will come out with better results. And you said, what was the other question? I'm sorry. You said, does it take time off? I apologize.
Well, I mean, you're lucky that you skipped multiple generations of computer science traditional development, which was embedded in Natalia's question. Like, how do you think about front end and back end, which are terminologies that the computer science community created to simplify the work involved in building complex systems? You had a bunch of front-end developers that specialize in developing the websites, and you had a bunch of back-end developers specializing for many years building database applications. And sometimes they came together in the full stack profile. But the more you learn, the more you realize, like, man, I gotta specialize in something because my head is gonna explode.
Right.
And the point I'm trying to bring up from you, do you feel like that is the case? Your head is going to explode with complexity, or is it going the other way where you feel more confident in building more stuff?
I would say it makes you feel more confident. Like you said, it was created to help you understand it easier. And actually, it kind of makes me feel bad because it's like, is Claude taking these front end developers' jobs or these back end developers' jobs? But
He always says that.
front end developers can work with Claude to make their front end design more simplistic. It can take so much workload off of somebody who's already doing so much. You could ask Claude or to create a sub agent to do one of two of your tasks or all of your tasks, or it can just help you better your work. So to answer your question, yes, yes and no. No, my mind's not going to explode from the jargon and the information I'm learning. It's definitely making me more confident in what is Claude creating. That's what I'm understanding more and more with me learning the terminology. And one, Claude, it takes so much time off your plate, and it just really helps you ease your workload. So definitely, yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for JJ? Okay, Sean, let's bring it back to you to wrap it up. I've enjoyed it very much.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, Evelyn. I mean, this is amazing. Just thank you for giving us a platform. I want Giovanni, I'm really thankful to give him the opportunity to come on and speak, because it's building up his confidence in terms of how he explains this. So this isn't the first demo, and I can see him getting better, more confident at what he's saying. And so platforms like this are important. And I hope that Pat, Natalia, Anna, you all are able to take something from this and actually put it to use for your businesses. And we'll make ourselves available if there's anything we could ever do to help. And Evelyn, you're more than welcome to share our information. But I think that once, like Gigi said, once you look at it like a partner, the rest is history. You'll probably actually having personal conversations with it, like, hey, maybe talking about your marriage. No, I'm just kidding. But no, again, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, the use as a therapist role is one of the most popular use cases. So yeah, great work, Gigi, and don't be worried at all that you missed 80 years of computer science coding. Like, nobody misses the skill of the typewriter anymore, so don't worry about it too much.
Thank you guys.
All right, so I'll
Thanks a lot.
share
Thank
this
you.
soon, and you all are connected in the Discord server, so feel free to chat separately.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet
Good luck.
everyone. All right. Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.